In my last video, we talked about whether it was persuasive to have a lot of different reasons for your position or just a few really good reasons for your position. And the answer was that it depended on whether people were paying attention to what you have to say. In persuasion, there's a really common finding, which is that when people are paying attention to what you have to say, what convinces them is whether your arguments are really good, convincing, strong arguments. But when people are not paying close attention, they're more susceptible to different kinds of persuasion tricks, using elements of the person giving the message, the number of arguments, etc. If you have a bunch of strong, compelling arguments that are really going to make the case for you, you want people to pay attention to those and think carefully about them, because then they'll see that you're actually right about what it is you're trying to say. So to get people to pay attention, make it relevant to them. There's a ton of research on this. When people see the information as being relevant to their own lives, they pay attention. They're more likely to finally look and consider the arguments in front of them and make their decision based on the information. So to make it relevant to people, what you want to do is to appeal to something personal to them, something that's going to make what you have to say matter for them. One way to do this is to make the consequences of what you're saying super immediate. Consider climate change, for example. One of the challenges of getting people to care about climate change is that the implications are fairly far in the future. The difference that climate change is making isn't about tomorrow or the next day, it's about years from now, when the really catastrophic stuff is going to happen. And so it's really hard to get through to people when the consequences seem so far away. But if you can make something seem more like an immediate concern, that's when people pay attention. That brings me to another way you can make something relevant. It's to situate it in someone's own life. If I'm trying to persuade you that my charity is really great, but it's a charity that helps people on the other side of the world, you might not be as motivated to pay attention to what I have to say, as opposed to if I say that my charity is doing work in your own neighborhood, your own city, your own country. Now all of a sudden, it's relevant. In research, what they've done is when they look at college students and whether college students pay attention to persuasive information, they'll say that there's some brand new policy that's being considered either at your university or some other university. And it's when it's at your own university that you really care about what's going to happen. You're more invested in the topic. It's more relevant to you. And so when you're persuaded, you're being persuaded because of the good, strong arguments and not the superficial tricks. So all of this is to say that if you have a really compelling, airtight case for what you're trying to say, make it relevant to people. When you want people to think carefully about what you're saying, you need to invite them in, make it relevant, and that'll motivate people to actually pay attention. So find a way to do that, and you'll be on the road to persuasion. For more social psychology, subscribe to this YouTube channel, or go to beapeopleexpert.com and find new articles every week about psychological science.